Welcome to Have More Babies, the show where we take information, dive deep, and pull out the key insights so you can get up to speed fast.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into something. Well, it sounds small, maybe even obscure, but it's actually incredibly important in our bodies.
That's right.
We're talking about the pedicle,
Yeah.
something often hidden in, all that medical jargon.
Exactly. And it's worth understanding.
Our mission is to unpack what pedicles are, using this really helpful guide from Omega Pediatrics called The Intricate Role of Pedicles, a parent's guide to understanding stalks of tissue in the human body.
It's a great resource.
And understanding this stuff, it can really give you some insights into your child's health, maybe make medical procedures seem a bit less daunting.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, especially for parents navigating health topics.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. The word pedicle? Honestly, it made me think of a plant stem or something. What exactly is a pedicle in anatomy?
Yeah, that's a common first thought. But in the body, a pedicle is essentially a stalk or stem of tissue. Its main job is to connect different body parts. Think of it like a biological bridge, maybe, keeping things linked up and working.
A bridge. I like that. Made of what, typically?
Usually it's a mix. You've got blood vessels, nerves, and connective tissues all bundled together strategically. And what's really interesting is its dual role. It's vital for just, normal body functions day to day.
Right.
But it also becomes super critical in certain medical procedures. Complex stuff often relies on them.
Okay, so not just a simple connector. It's like an engineered bundle. Now, the guide mentions different types of pedicles. That surprised me.
Yes, that's a key point. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. The Omega Pediatrics Guide breaks down 4 main types.
Right, walk us through them. What are they and what do they do?
Okay, first up, spinal pedicles. Think about the vertebrae, the bones in your child's spine. These pedicles connect the front part of the vertebra, the body, to the back part, the arch. They're incredibly strong, like pillars holding things together.
Wow.
And this strength is crucial in spinal surgeries, like spinal fusion.
Yeah.
Surgeons actually place screws directly into these pedicles. They act as anchors to stabilize the spine while it heals. Precision is key there.
They're literally anchoring points for surgery. That's amazing. Okay, what's next?
Next, we have cutaneous pedicles. These are skin-based.
Skin-based.
Yeah. Think reconstructive surgery. Maybe a child needs a skin graft after a burn or an injury.
Okay.
Surgeons need to move skin from one area to another. The cutaneous pedicle is what keeps that piece of transferred skin alive.
How?
It carries the blood supply with it. That continuous blood flow is absolutely essential for the graft to survive and, integrate properly in the new spot.
Got it. So the pedicle is the lifeline for that graft. That's incredible biological design.
What else?
Yeah. Then there are vascular pedicles, as the name suggests. These are all about blood vessels.
Well, plumbing, basically.
Kinda, yeah. In our everyday physiology, they're the highways for nutrients. They make sure blood carrying oxygen and nutrients gets everywhere it needs to go.
But they really shine in things like organ transplants.
Oh, wow.
Surgeons have to meticulously connect these vascular pedicles from the donor organ to the recipient's system to ensure blood flows immediately to the new organ.
That connection has to be perfect, I imagine.
Absolutely critical.
Right.
Without it, the transplant fails.
So critical lifelines for organs, too.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last type, neural pedicles. Sounds delicate.
They are, and incredibly important. Neural pedicles are linked directly to nerve tissues.
Okay.
Their job is transmitting nerve signals, basically the body's communication network, brain telling muscles what to do, skin sending touch signals back, all that runs through nerve pathways.
Right.
These pedicles are vital parts of that system, and in certain nerve surgeries, preserving them and their function is paramount. It affects movement, sensation, everything.
This is really opening my eyes. We've talked surgery, transplants, but you mentioned everyday function, too. Why should a parent, really care about pedicles outside of these big medical events?
That's a great question. It ties back to empowerment, really. Knowing about pedicles helps make sense of things.
How so?
Well, say your child has persistent back pain, or a doctor mentions needing an MRI for a spinal concern.
Okay.
If you understand spinal pedicles, you have context. You understand why they're looking at that specific structure, or maybe why a certain surgical approach for a growth issue is being considered. It's not just jargon anymore.
They give you a framework.
Exactly. And beyond the big medical stuff, these pedicles are working constantly. When your kid runs, jumps, feels a hug, Healthy vascular pedicles are delivering nutrients. Healthy neural pedicles are transmitting signals. It helps you appreciate how intricate the body is.
Yeah.
It turns this sort of abstract medical term into something real, something that helps you understand your child's body, their health, their development.
That makes a lot of sense. It connects the dots between the medical stuff and just living. Okay, so they're vital. What happens when things go wrong? How do doctors figure out there's a problem with the pedicle?
Good question. Usually, diagnosis involves imaging. The source mentions X-rays and MRIs are very common.
Why though?
Well, X-rays are great for looking at bones so they can show fractures or maybe issues with spinal pedicles. MRIs are better for soft tissues.
Like nerves and blood vessels.
Exactly. MRIs can show inflammation, damage, structural problems in those parts of the pedicle, really detailed views.
Is that usually enough?
Often, yes. But the guide notes that sometimes, though it's rarer, a biopsy might be needed.
Taking a tissue sample.
Right. Mostly if there's a concern about something like an infection or even malignancy, though that's less common. It gives a definitive answer at the microscopic level.
Okay. And once a problem is found, what's the treatment plan look like? Is it always surgery?
Thankfully, no, not always. It really depends on the specific problem, how severe it is, and the child's overall situation,
Makes sense.
Surgery, like we talked about with spinal fusion or maybe reconstructive grafts, is needed if the pedicle issue is causing major structural problems or chronic pain that doesn't improve, or if it's affecting nerve function or blood flow.
So serious cases.
Right, like a fractured spinal pedicle pressing on a nerve, that probably needs surgery.
But other options exist.
Definitely. For less severe things, or maybe during recovery, medical therapy is often used first. This could be anti-inflammatory medication for pain and swelling.
Okay.
Or physical therapy can be really helpful too, strengthening surrounding areas to support healing. The aim is always the least invasive approach that works.
Right. Minimize intervention, but maximize function. Okay, so we know how to diagnose and treat. But what about preventing problems? The source mentions prevention and maintenance. What can parents do proactively for their kids?
Proactive care is huge, yes. The Omega Pediatrics Guide highlights a couple of key things. First, just regular checkups.
Basic but important.
So important, especially if a child has a known condition that could affect pedicles, or maybe a family history of spine issues or connective tissue disorders.
Why especially then?
Because regular visits let the doctor monitor development, keep an eye on those structures, and catch any potential problems really early. Early detection makes a big difference.
Get ahead of it. Okay, what else?
The other big one is nutrition. Seems simple, but adequate nutrition supports all tissue health.
Including pedicles.
Absolutely. They're made of blood vessels, nerves, connective tissue. A balanced diet with enough vitamins, minerals, protein that gives the body the building blocks to keep those tissues strong and functioning well makes them more resilient.
Good food helps everything.
It really does. And it ties back to that message from the source. Knowledge is your best tool. Understanding these things helps parents be proactive.
It really connects everything, doesn't it? These seemingly small pedicles are actually fundamental. Just shows how interconnected our bodies are. So precise.
It's truly remarkable.
What's your kind of final takeaway on their role?
I think what's most fascinating is how these tiny parts, often totally unseen, are absolutely critical. Critical for everyday functions we don't even think about, and for these incredibly advanced medical procedures.
Yeah.
It really showcases the amazing engineering of the human body. Even a little stalk of tissue can be the key to movement, healing, even life itself. Every piece matters.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other small, maybe overlooked parts of our anatomy are doing these huge, complex jobs that we don't fully appreciate yet?
That's the provocative thought, isn't it? It speaks volumes about medical advancement that we can understand and even intervene with something as small as a pedicle. But it definitely makes you think, what else is hidden in plain sight doing critical work?
A lot to think about there. Well, that was a fascinating deep dive into something I definitely didn't know much about before, but clearly plays a huge role. Thank you for walking us through that.
My pleasure. It's important stuff.
And for everyone listening, if you want to explore this more or learn about the kinds of pediatric services related to overall child health, the guide we based this discussion on came directly from omegapediatrics.com.
That's right. You can visit omegapediatrics.com. They have a ton of information on there. They cover a whole range of services for kids, things like newborn circumcision, support with lactation, all the essential preventative care, even medical ear piercings.
Good to know.
And they make the practical side easier, too. They list the insurance plans they accept right on the site, like Blue Cross, Blue Shield GA, Cigna Health Insurance Georgia, United Healthcare, and others. They serve families in cities all across Georgia: Milton, Roswell, Alpharetta, lots more. Really focused on accessibility.
Excellent. So definitely check out omegapediatrics.com. And we really hope this deep dive helped you feel more informed, maybe even spark some curiosity about how amazing the human body is.
Hope so too.
If you found this discussion valuable, please do us a favor. Like this video, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future deep dives, and share it with anyone you think might benefit from this information.
Your support helps keep these conversations going.
It really does. So from all of us here on Have More Babies, thank you so much for joining us today. Until next time, keep learning and stay curious.
Goodbye for now.